The wine glass trembled in her hand, spilling deep red across the pristine white tablecloth. She laughed, a brittle, rehearsed sound, as her friends leaned closer, hungry for the next juicy chapter. "I want to see if he'll actually agree to a divorce," she whispered, eyes sparkling with wicked amusement. A little game she thought I hadn't noticed. I had noticed. I just smiled, calm and even, and said, "If that's what you want," before standing up and walking out. The door clicked shut behind me. Silence. Relief. Control. 4 months later, she was completely alone. Every friend who had helped plant the seeds of her cruel test, gone. Destroyed. Exposed. Left to drown in the wreckage of their own lives. And finally, she called me, voice small, wondering why no one was left to applaud her anymore. I didn't pick up. I didn't need to. I still remember the first time I met her. That bright, unstoppable laugh. The spark in her eyes that made the whole world pause. We told each other secrets no one else was ever allowed to touch. I loved her like breathing, effortless, constant, unquestioned. That trust was the foundation of everything. So when she shattered it, the betrayal tasted metallic and sharp. It started small. A careless remark. A suspicious glance at my phone. Laughter that rang a little too hollow whenever her friends were around. I told myself it was stress, nerves, nothing more. Then I found the message. Not outright cheating, not yet, but the planning. The manipulation. The deliberate decision to turn our marriage into gossip fodder and cheap entertainment. She wanted to humiliate me in front of everyone who mattered to her. The hurt hit hard. The anger burned hotter. But I didn't react. Not yet. Emotions are loud, they give you away too soon. So I waited. I watched. And quietly, carefully, I started building my response. I learned who each of them trusted, where their own relationships were already cracking. None of those friends were as solid as they pretended to be. They just thought they were untouchable. I didn't attack. I simply offered a gentle suggestion here, a perfectly timed question there. Invisible. Surgical. Nothing that could ever be traced back to me. Months went by. A text taken out of context. A secret slipped to the wrong person. A lie finally unraveled. I stayed far away and let them tear one another apart. Every smirk, every whispered joke at my expense came circling back like a boomerang. They built their own collapse, brick by careless brick, and I just watched it fall. She never saw my hand in any of it. That night at her birthday dinner, when I stood up and left without a scene, that was the first move. Walking away calmly was the spark that lit the whole fuse. Real control isn't loud. It's quiet. Patient. Invisible until everything crumbles. And crumble it did. Affairs exposed. Marriages shattered. Reputations in ruins. Shame served cold to every single one of them. Their lives became the exact chaos they tried to create for me. When she finally noticed the pattern and realized she was the only one left standing in the ashes, she called again, desperate this time. I met her once, after it was all over. She looked smaller. No bravado left. Voice shaking, she asked, "How did this happen?" I didn't answer. I didn't need to gloat. The silence said everything. I saw it hit her, shock, regret, fear. Not of me. Of the poison she'd poured into her own circle and never thought would splash back. The pain she'd meant for me had reflected perfectly onto her, multiplied by every person she dragged into her game. I never had to fight. I only had to wait. Now I sit in my apartment, city lights flickering across the hardwood floor. No victory lap. No shouting from rooftops. Just clarity. Justice delivered quiet and complete. I didn't ruin them. They ruined themselves. She's alone because she chose betrayal. I'm free because I chose restraint. There is power in patience. There is strength in silence. There is vengeance in stepping aside and letting the universe balance the scales. As I pour another drink, the taste on my tongue isn't revenge anymore. It's peace, clean, cool, and finally mine. She taught me what betrayal feels like. I taught her what consequence costs. And in that exchange, I stayed untouchable. Unbroken. The only one still standing.